To the Magma Classroom, our weekly digital painting study session in partnership with Wacom. This particular classroom series focuses on the basics of digital painting, starting with the fundamentals of value, shapes, light and color. We've done a good few apples and spheres already in previous lessons, tried our hands at some more interesting still life studies, broken down simple landscapes, and even run a gauntlet of timed exercises to speed up the learning process. These 1-hour study sessions are aimed at beginners finding their feet with digital painting, illustrators who want to tackle new subjects to grow their visual library, and more experienced painters wanting to warm up or wind down with something different from their usual work. I'm your host Ryan, the resident artist at Magma, and together we'll be sharpening our skills each week with a new subject to study. Top up your mug and grab your drawing tablet. While you wait, be sure to subscribe if you're not already so that you can stay updated about future sessions. We'll be getting started shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the classroom. Let me adjust my camera here so it actually faces my furry face. There we go. Welcome to another round of the classroom, where today we are doing a still life study. And still lifes are fantastic. And over the last few months, I've been a big advocate of doing more still life paintings, even though I used to think they were rather silly when I was in my young and foolish years. Now I'm just a little older and still foolish. If you are watching on YouTube, you want to join along, you can find all the info in the stream description. Keep along with us. We're going to do a 1-hour study of this gramophone. I was searching earlier for reference images of music boxes, and I thought this one was pretty cool. I got another similar one for Thursday, because Wednesday in the clubhouse, our theme is going to be magical music box. So it seemed appropriate to find something like this for the classroom session. And yeah, whether you're a beginner or advanced, doesn't really matter. So those of you who've been a part of this for a little while, have been joining a few of our streams. I see we've got some of you here already. Feel free to just jump right in. If you are a beginner wanting to join, don't be shy. I will chat a little bit through my process. So yeah, you can see a little bit of how I might tackle something like this. Now I need to make some slight adjustments to my desk setup here. Having my tablet in my lap has not been working so well, so I'm going to put it back up on the table. There we go. Nice. You should all have the Blaze brushes active. So if you've got your brush selected, you'll see down here there's a bunch of brushes that you can access. Got some texture to them if you want it. They're really not necessary for something like this. We've only got an hour. We're not trying to get super polished kind of paintings. So yeah, I'm going to shift this. Actually, I'm going to hide this for now. As you can see, we've got lots of canvases down at the bottom. Some people joining already. We've got plenty there. So if you're watching on Twitch as well, let me know. I'll send you the links. We're streaming Facebook too, but things seem to have died there for some reason. Alrighty, let's get to it. As always, first thing to look for are our shapes. So I'm just going to pick a real basic brush here. Open tool. Hey Andy, I think we've got Anvil here, Adina, Burning Phoenix. Who did I miss here? Who's this? Deca, welcome, welcome. All right, so we got some pretty basic shapes. Start off with here. One is, of course, this sort of ovalish shape. Of course, it's not that. There's this waviness to it, but we keep things simple in the beginning. An oval into a sort of curved triangle, or a cone rather, if we're thinking in 3D. It comes down, and we've got a little rectangle cube down here. Okay, so we can see two sides of it, which is nice. For one, got our lighting source, our direction very clearly distinguished there, or clearly defined rather, by having this whole side in shadow. Well, we're getting more light over here, and of course really dark in this section too. And we've got more cubes, more simple cube, or not cube. Cube would be a three-dimensional square, right? So, but I suppose you can call a rectangular thing a cube too. I don't know. We've got two of those up here. A little bit of perspective. See how this goes off into the distance and connects together. So that's the basic structure of the whole thing. Of course, we've got the wall behind us. Less important, but that's the gist of it. So if I reduce this, I just want to have a quick look at the values here. So I'm going to switch to grayscale mode, which you can do by going to View, showing grayscale. I've set a hotkey for it, so I can easily switch back and forth. It just helps me to check my values while I'm painting. The values, I mean the light and dark of things. Your lights and darks are, and how things compare. Yes, so when we go to grayscale, we can of course see that while we've got quite light here and we've got quite light there, we do have this thin line that defines that edge. We can see how the values change on the different planes of the base of our music box. Some shadow there. So just looking at all these different things to assess the difference. If you want a little help with this, or if you're nervous about doing things in color, do it in grayscale first. Spend time doing it in grayscale and just focusing on that element, getting the light and dark relationships right. We've got light bouncing off the wall, and so we've got a bit of light up on the top over here. So all those little things we'll pay attention to. Let's start off by getting the basic shape down. I'll erase all of these. Switch, clear my layer. Let's get our basic shapes in. Nothing fancy, just let's see, a little sketchy round brush. I'm going to hide the sequence panel down below. Oh, don't need that. I'm going to zoom out once more on my Magma UI, just to make a little bit more space, and go full screen. There we go. Back. So normally what I do is actually put in a bit of a background, but I'm going to just break down these shapes real quick when we work. Like I said, we're going to do a sort of oval, very wobbly oval. That's what happens when your elbow sits below the level of the tablet. Good loud. It actually widens out a little bit more. So I'm going to do some ugly chicken hatching lines. I don't do neat line work. It's not a strong point. I'm a rough, messy painter. So like I see, we've got that sort of triangle there. Comes down. And then we've got our box. So the level of this, if you want to get accurate about things, you can also draw lines across to see where things intersect. Drawing lines to intersect, it's like working with a grid system or a doodle grid, just finding those points of intersection to help you place your points more accurately. So here, we got here that edge. The angle between this point here, just taking a bit of so quite often on one of my things, but I think it's because this happens here. I should be disabling calls. So I'm going to do that for now. Sorry, Andy. See you trying to start a call there. Could come over down more here. Start this side. Sorry, just checking if there was a message regarding that. There was a question or something. And from the base of this here, it comes out pretty far. I should bring this out way further. It's a much wider oval. No problem, no problem. Were you accidentally tapping on it? That happens to me sometimes when I'm working on trying to bring things down to the edge of the canvas and end up tapping with the side of my arm. This angle goes in a little bit more. 66, yeah, about there. It extends a little bit beyond this point. Yeah, I think we do need to reconsider where that placement for sure. I think it has come up more than once in our team meetings. And we've got this disc over here. Come at this all a little more neatly once I get into paint side of things. Okay, and look at some of our planes here. Things are much darker on this side. Got things are dark to sort of in the middle of this thing. As it comes around, I'm going to do all this shape design a bit later. Sorry about if you hear the kids screaming outside. 17 floors up from the playground, it's still really loud. So this section here is going to be really dark as well. Our light source is coming from there. It's kind of shielding it out. And this whole side is shadow. Oops, that was way off. Probably going to have to scale this down because I'm running out of space on my canvas here. The beauty of digital, that's an easy thing to fix. Shift T. I'm not going to go much further than this for just sketching out the idea. Let's see. Up the opacity of that and also put a layer underneath and start blocking out a bit of background. I'm trying to find the dominant color in the background. It's a light yellow cream, really orangey creamy. It's quite bright. Whoop, that's not the button I wanted. Precise, there we go. I'm just going to fill that background in. I'm going to have to make that box a little smaller. It's hard drawing the same thing. You mean trying to copy the reference? It is a tricky form. And there is that little bit of perspective to keep in mind. And here things are a bit more gray, a little darker, little slight changes in value. Exaggerate that a little bit. Saturate some more. Just plotting in a little bit of a. Here things are a bit more orange. Yeah, definitely going to have to adjust my sizing. Some more tone in it. And a bit of brown floor here. It's quite orange, that floor. I'm trying not to color pick from, well, not trying. I'm very intentionally not made a habit of color picking from my background. Strongly discourage that. Putting in the time to find the colors itself. Looking at your color wheel, hunting for that color. Let's make this a little bit smaller. It's going to need to be. And you know what? I think it could extend a little bit. Yeah, then we've got these dark things. Now the way the image is filtered, it almost, yeah, it's honestly, of course it's got a bit of warmth to it, but it almost feels like it's got a coolness in the black to it as well. But it is actually quite warm. So let's just plot it in. I'll get the basic shape in first, and then I'll define all the things. Full opacity starts, just to get the shapes in. Thank you. This comes out of frame. This one's slightly in. Yeah, that wasn't too complicated. Should be using a bigger brush. Super inefficient rhyme. Super inefficient. This bottom one is covered a little bit more. It's a bit more shadow. And we've got a bit of shadow coming from here. And then I'm going to do the same with this, just similar in color, but I feel like it shifts over. This is kind of cool, much cooler for me. Sort of, it's like a blue-green. Keep it quite desaturated. Okay, so let's see if we can roughly start putting in that shape. Yeah, 20 minutes in already. Who's this? Hey, I'm Megan. Welcome to the canvas. Or welcome to the classroom, rather. Feel free to grab a canvas down below in the sequence panel. You can find that here, just clicking on the film strip. And there should be an open canvas somewhere along here. Interesting, my thumbnails aren't updating so well. And this is more red, I think. So we've got some others watching on YouTube. If you are just tuning in and you want to come along and paint with us, check the stream description. All the details are there. I'm just doing a 1 hour study. Nothing perfect. Doesn't have to be a perfect drawing. Just here to spend some time sharpening our skills. Getting frustrated, perhaps. I think soon we'll shift over to doing some 2 hour sessions instead of two 1 hour sessions in the week. We'll do 1 2 hour session be some slight changes to my work setup and schedule. So it might work better. And I think, as some of you guys said last time, 1 hour goes by pretty quickly. And I know for me as well, at the 1 hour mark, if I've been good about staying focused, I actually only then start to get into it. So maybe 2 hours is just going to be a better approach. So we can also get slightly better results. Something a little more Instagram worthy within the time. No, that should definitely not be the priority ever. What would be enough time? Oh, do they not know? Hi, Wolfmeister. Welcome. If you want to come join in, if you're not already, and I don't recognize the name on the canvas. I just want to check, are you listening on YouTube as well? Because it's a little tricky to type responses. This should come in. Ah, okay. I'm mentioning here that next week, our theme in the clubhouse is going to be fancy weapons. So for the classroom, it would be cool to do some where are my words? My words are in here somewhere. Some material studies. Perhaps of a particular precious stone, or hey, mountain part, cool. Or like wood or bark or something, and apply that material to design a simple dagger, where either it's in the hilt, the handle, or I can't remember the terminology for the different parts of swords, for example. But just applying that material in some way to the design. This is also to prepare for sword timber next month, which I would like to do a couple of designs for. I'm willing. I haven't participated in sword timber before, so I'm quite keen to. And the prompts are always really cool for that. And the designs are amazing, what people come up with. It's just such awesome stuff. Yeah, sword timber. It's huge on Twitter. I don't know if it will be this time around, but maybe over on Kara app, it'll be dominant there. As a lot of artists have moved around a little bit. Might not be as prominent on ArtStation, although I think it still will be. People adding awesome prop design to their portfolios. This is kind of what is going on with these colors here? Isn't that sort of yellow brown? Okay, so what I did here was still a little bit off. Let's come over. Came across a lot of these cool gramophone items while hunting for reference today. Yeah, more metal studies for sure. Yeah, you know, I still sometimes post on Instagram, not a lot. I find that I enjoy more putting stuff out on YouTube and connecting with people there. Of course, I'm doing like tablet reviews and stuff. My last video was actually about doing still lives. And yeah, because I think people there stick around. They've got just nice to chat with. It's cool to see people's process. Enjoy watching other people there. And the algorithm works better to serve you the kind of stuff that you're interested in, and it adapts very quickly. So as soon as I go on a bit of a news binge, very quickly my feed changes. But if I just track down again the artist that I'm into, my feed quickly cleans back up, showing me more art stuff. But the big battle is what you engage with a lot of the time. Wolfmeister asking, I'm mostly looking at getting better at anatomy. Should I do more life drawings or gesture drawings? To understand anatomy, I would go with more life drawings. If you're trying to get better at posing your characters, do gesture drawings, because there's a big focus there on weight and line of action. Check out the Proco channel. Awesome content there on understanding anatomy. Lots of shorter stuff that then they obviously plug to their own courses, which go way more in depth. But they do have a lot of great free content on the YouTube channel. Specifically around traditional drawing and painting. But it's not limited to that. If you're studying anatomy, that's obviously not limited to that. That'll apply digital, traditional. If it's possible for you to attend a life drawing session in your area, if they're available and you have the means, just spend time drawing a model live, I think that's really beneficial. Yeah, the Riley and Loomis methods are great. Yeah, good call out there, Mountain Pirate. It's time to change the track, I think. Coming to the end of it. See this light? What color is this light? It feels very warm in this image. The shadows seem warmer, so I'm going to shift around a little bit here. Rough and ugly, rough and ugly. thing over here. Let's go a bit darker than that. Same thing here. Oh, I love these old trunks. That is a good point about those structures becoming a bit of a crutch. It certainly can get that way. As long as you know how to break out from them, which takes practice, and then looking at other reference, a lot of reference. But if you can learn how to figure out the body in its different shapes, and learn to draw all those shapes in 3 dimensions, and then piece them all together, you'll be off to a good start. Mountain Pyre pointing out the oversaturation of AI imagery on social media content, on social media platforms. Definitely, I'm finding this to be quite frustrating when I'm looking for a reference, actually. As much as some might want to use AI as a referencing tool, which can be good in the right hands, when you just want to do studies like this, and you're looking for real world images, it can be a challenging process. Quite a frustrating one for me, unfortunately. So I have to spend a little bit of extra time just to make sure that the image I'm grabbing is not a generated one, because otherwise I might accidentally learn some inaccuracies. It should all be quite a bit darker. Always good to have a challenge. I mean, like I've pointed out, unfortunately, the person's not able to join the live stream conversation, but all the stuff I'm learning at the same time while doing these studies with all of you, kind of get thrown in the deep end a little bit with some of these subjects, which are not familiar to me. But I'm always just trying to fall back to what we've covered before, and that is all about shapes, all about values, and assessing those relationships. Now, one thing I've done wrong here is I've made this way too small. This comes up. Blow out this shape a little bit more. On that note of shapes, you know. That's good, Burning Phoenix. Glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm the same, and I found that it really helps me stay a bit more focused on the task when I've got to do it here with other people. Because I'm sure, like others here, I get quite easily distracted by things, and so it's just easier to put in the time when there's a group of us. Like, yeah, we're all suffering. We're all in this together. Oops, my screen. Internet, don't do this. That's an interesting one, Mountain I must try that. It's one to overlay and one to. Oh, it has to be more yellow. One to multiply and one to overlay. Interesting to try and do that with the. Just with the same image. See, I don't want this like that. Darker here. That's an interesting approach. Let's make that a bit bigger. I can smooth all of this out. I haven't tried to like blend things in really at this point. This is a bit bluer, I think. Shift down. Yeah, whether you have the overlay or multiply on top first, yeah, that's definitely going to impact that overall look. Don't forget to have a sip of water every now and then. Summer is killing me. I know one of the things I think I've mentioned it before, definitely need to work on is just the brush economy. Yeah, I'm making a lot of strokes to try and get quite a simple bit of shape down. Which just, with the time that we have available, I'm noticeably slow. I suppose that will come as well with better understanding of shapes. And also being able to see the shape of the brush in Magma. Something we're working on. Future. It will happen one day. But that makes it a little easier to calculate your strokes. At least while you're figuring out your brushes. change this track. Yeah, once that warp transform is sorted, I know people will be out in the streets celebrating. I will be one of them. The team's small, and there's so many different things that we're working on. So it's difficult to get some of these things out as soon as we might like them. Let's change that tune. We're gonna have a big old magma party when warp transforms out. And the text tool, I know that's another long-awaited one, which is looking pretty good, by the way. Some of you might be in our beta program or on the beta Artspace testing some of that out. It's coming along. It's coming along. It's going to be a bit darker over here. Maybe we'll have that. We'll have that feature party at Lightbox. Learn how to write. Yeah. I think there's a surprising number of users in Magma who aren't using a drawing tablet. So I think for them, the text tool is going to be absolute heaven. I don't know why they're using a mouse. It sounds like just asking for pain, just pain everywhere. But when they get their first tablet, a whole new world will open up. Oh yeah, the written font is definitely more satisfying to look at. And there will be some who will hand letter their comics rather than use a font. We'll still do that. And I like that. I like it a lot. Yeah, drawing is its own workout some days, definitely. I'm being really bad about drawing from my wrist in this one. This is the setup I have. The importance of a good chair at the right height cannot be stressed enough for long hours of drawing. has definitely been one of the learning curves of this whole nomadic artist thing. Is that Muncorn or Muncom? Well, welcome to the classroom. Either way, my terrible pronunciations aside, elbows and shoulders, goblins. We don't draw with our wrist here. Just take off the hand, replace it with a pencil, just jab it in there. I started out on such a small tablet, it was almost impossible to draw with anything but your wrist. Well, I say, let's get a bit of more saturation in here. It's nice and dark, but it runs through and around. Let's get some variation in there. Things kind of go a little bit more green, I think, here. Yeah, it is a bad habit. And what doesn't help is that I'm doing this fairly small on my screen, so if I zoom in a little bit, then fine. That then pushes the reference out to the side. It's much easier to make these big strokes at this point. Zoomed in. On the Magma Artspace, so I can make a new canvas to draw. You should be able to. Are you wanting to draw the same image? I'm not going to give admin on the Magma Artspace, but I'll move an image over. Where are you? Hey, I think your drawing's looking great. Oh yeah, they're not on. Everyone should be able to make canvases in the Magma Artspace. Oh, and you should be able to. Sorry, I thought you were talking about here in the classroom. But the Magma Artspace is public. You should be able to create canvases in there already. Without needing admin permissions. Darker. Let me have a look here. I don't quite understand. So this isn't looking so good. I need to start commissioning a bit more. It's a bit more orange in here. Let's be a little bolder. Some of our color choice. More of that orange in here too. And down here. I'm going to have to investigate this because no one should be able to make any changes to the Magma Artspace. Now, of course, everyone's able to create their own art spaces. If you want to do specific kinds of drawings with your friends, if you want to host similar kind of study sessions with your peers. Andy, do you mean making your own canvas in the Magma Artspace? So if I misunderstood there, maybe. This is really difficult. It's really struggling. It's looking so messy. Whoops. Yeah, for obvious reasons, we can't just give You should not be able to make a project in the Magma. I'll have to look into that. Not because it's a problem of you or certain users, but just in general, if there's when people create their own art spaces, you need to make sure permissions are working correctly. So I need to go and have a look at that. If people are able to make projects in a space that they're not supposed to be able to do it in, then we have ourselves a little problem. Oh, we're at 56 minutes already. I am not happy with the outcome of my drawing. Oh well, oh well, oh well. That happens. That happens. Let's make this a bit bigger. I'm going to come in a bit darker in here, actually. Nice, Megan. I'm glad. I'm glad you're finding it relaxing. Of course, it doesn't have to end here. If you feel like sticking around, you can keep drawing, keep working on your piece. Would love to see the finished product over in our Discord. But you know, you say that as well about this just being really relaxing. This is exactly one of the points I brought up in my video that I pushed out on Friday. Where like obviously these are great for learning and growing your skills, but also they're just relaxing. You know, so if you're looking for a cozy activity, then painting a still life, you're not really attached to. You're not trying to convey your entire identity through it or anything. It's just painting for painting's sake. That in itself is a really great benefit. So that was my thing in varsity. I was like, oh, still life, so lame. So lame. Who does still lives? It's not important. The kind of art I want to do. Look at me now. Give me more still life studies. Can't get enough of it. What a young fool I was. Yeah, I mean it's a bit different from your usual strong suit on the reptiles and dinosaurs. Yeah, we should shift into doing a few more sort of animal studies. I know someone recommended cats at some point. I don't know if it was you, Burning Phoenix, or if there was Adina at some point. I see Adina's on the all into the cats at the moment and starting to push that on Instagram too, which is great. My nose is running. I'm gonna have to revisit some cat anatomy. I think Aaron Blaze has some really good cat videos, drawing cats, animating cats. Obviously, having worked on The Lion King, understanding those forms, and having gone on a lot of safari trips for reference. He's really great with that. Definitely worth checking out. If you haven't checked out Aaron Blaze's YouTube channel, it's cool. I don't know if he still does his regular live stream with his audience. He used to. Oh, my screen color just shifted. He would do these live streams on a Wednesday, I think, and would get a bit of prompting from his viewers, and would do like a fun character design. Dapper Fox, perhaps, or something similar. That one's always stood out for me, the Dapper Fox. Aaron Blaze, Aaron. But yeah, next month I have to set up the whole schedule for next month's classroom sessions and our clubhouse. And yeah, why not? Let's do cats at some point in September. Why not? Why not? Me too. Me too. I was such a sucker while in Istanbul because there's a lot of stray cats in Turkey. Not so much in the way of dogs. Their perception of dogs is different ways. Like in Georgia, there's a lot of stray dogs, not many stray cats. And I would always be the sucker stopping to pet all the kitties. Couldn't help myself. Take us forever to get to any destination. Ryan has to stop at the darn cats. It's the extent of my social life, guys. Getting random cats in the streets. You're going out of town on Wednesday for a bit? Nice. Where you headed? We're gonna do Magical Music Box in the clubhouse on Wednesday. Oops, I somehow changed layers. I don't know how that happened. I'm convinced there's like a rogue touch function activation going on from time to time on my tablet. It's traveled too far. It's aging. We'll do another still life on Thursday. Next week we'll do material studies to dagger design in preparation for fancy weapons in the clubhouse, but also in preparation of sword timber. And then I haven't planned on next month's stuff yet. So I know cats will be one of them. Is that a speck on my screen or is that actually a speck on the canvas? I cannot tell. Go away. There we go. Right. Oh, nice. Heading to a B&B on the lake with friends. Sounds fantastic. I think Solomon just had a little trip to a lake. I can't remember. It's in Texas somewhere. I'm having a total brain fart. I know the name. It's there. Type it. A lake or a river, or where did he go? I can't find it. I don't remember which one it was. That's what happens when you're chatting in meetings and and tackling other work at the same time. Miss some details. All right, so we're at the end of the session for today. This has definitely been a challenging one for me. I always say I would like to come back to it and work on it some more, but I never seem to find the time to. As I've said, I blame Larian Studios for this. Well, they're just I suppose, my more recent target for the blame. My more recent excuse. Probably could have painted more zoomed out actually to start this. That's probably one of my little lessons. Bigger strokes, a bit more zoomed out to start. Just get more bolder blobs of color. That was a bit lacking for me in this session. It's nice to take a moment just to assess what I could have done better. To those who are jumping on YouTube now, arriving at the end of the stream, sorry about that. But we're about to bring this to a close. We'll be back on Thursday with another still life study that everyone is welcome to join in on. I'll find something. Maybe it won't be another gramophone, but still like an interesting antique kind of object that would fit a bit of the theme for the clubhouse. And yeah, I'll just add in here the goal is not perfect painting, but to just spend the time hanging out, trying our best with the subject that might be unfamiliar to us. So for now, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of the day, if it is early in your neck of the woods. Otherwise, if this is the end of the day for you, have a good one. Go get some good rest. And hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday in the clubhouse, or again on Thursday for another study session. Thank you very much, guys. I will leave Blaze active for a little while. So if you want to keep drawing, then please feel free. You can still use those extra brushes. I will chat to you all again soon. As soon as I roll this out. Ciao for now. just lose my text? How's it going?
You finished?
Yeah. Did you have to put out some fires, or how's the situation?
You know, would you like some wine?
Oh, God, I love you. Oh, why is the stream still active? Thanks, Mountain Pirate.